We conclude the book of Eichah, the last chapter of the book of Lamentations. Zechor Adonai mehayalanu, habito re'eh et cherpatenu. Remember, God, what has befallen us. Behold and see our disgrace. This chapter has, I believe, see at the end, 22 verses like the other ones, but it is not in the order of the alphabet. It's as if chaos has happened, confusion has happened, the other things have been orderly. Now this is more, one could say, from the heart. Further, the author, Yirmiyahu, is talking directly to God. Remember, the others were a description of the pain, maybe one speaking to another, complaining about God. God, how could you do this? How could these things happen? The horrors. Now I'm speaking to God. Remember, look at our disgrace. Our heritage has passed to foreigners, our home to strangers. Yitomim hayinu v'ein av, imotenu ka'almanot. We've become orphans, fatherless. Our mothers are like widows, right? And Yitomim already implies that we have no fathers, but v'ein av maybe is that we have no fathers as in biological humans, and it almost seems like we have no avinu shebashamayim, we have no parent. And also the widows are almanot, the mothers are widows, they are also without. Mimenu v'chesef shatinu eitzenu b'mechir yavo, we must pay to drink our own water, obtain our own kindling at a price. What is ours is no longer. Al tzavarenu nirdafnu yaganu v'lo hunach lanu. We are pursued by our necks. We are exhausted. We are given no rest. There's no noach. There's no manoach. There's no time to take a little nap. Mitzrayim natnu yad ashur lisbo alachem. We held out a hand pathetically to Egypt. Give us something. To Assyria, to fill of bread. Give us a little bit to eat. These enemies, former enemies of the Jewish people, they're enemies of Bavel, so they're enemies of sort of the enemies of my enemies, but they're not coming to us, our former enemies, Mitzrayim and Ashur. Avotenu chatu ve'enam, va'anachnu avonotehem savalnu. Our fathers sinned are no more, and we must bear their guilt. A little bit of a biblical idea there of Zechut avot, we get merits from our ancestors, but we also can be punished because of our ancestors. Right? We have the idea in the, not really in Divrei Yamim, but more in the book of Milachim, of the sins of Menashe and others are what caused the destruction. It was inevitable even after the reforms of Yoshiyahu. So avotenu chatu. We are suffering. Avadim mashluvanu forek ein miyadam. Slaves are ruling over us with none to rescue us from them. Benafshenu navi lachmenu mipnei cherev hamidbar. Right, we get bread at the peril of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness. And it's not too far. You can think of the stories of the Holocaust, of people trying to sneak out of ghettos, kids sneaking out, people trying to sneak out just to get a little bit of food to feed their families. And the sword is all over. The risks are all over when we try to do that. Oreinu katanor nichmaru nipnei zalafot ra'av. Our skin glows like an oven with the fever of famine. Nashim b'tzioni nu betulot ba'arei Yehuda. They have ravished women in Zion, maidens in the town of Yehuda, innocent women, young girls. Look what was done to them, ravished. The horrific acts of brutality. Sarim bi'adam nitlu pnei zikenim lo nehadaru. Princes have been hanged by them. No respect has been shown to elders. We have a pasuk in the Torah, mipnei v'hadarta pnei zakein, that you have to show honor and respect, revere the face of the elder, and here pnei zakenim lo nehadaru. They are, no respect has been shown. It's not just the able-bodied aged men who have been attacked. It is women ravished. It is children, the elderly. Bachurim tchon nasau na'arim ba'etz kashalu. Pasuk Yud Gimel. Young men must carry millstones, and youth stagger under loads of wood. The disastrous effects of slavery of those who have been so fortunate to even survive. Zikenim meshar shavatu bachurim miniginatam. The old men are gone from the gate, the young men from their music. There is no sitting around. There is nobody who's just taking a deep breath and enjoying life, looking out at nature. Young men are not playing music. There's no joy. There's no hope for the future. The old men are not sitting there at the gate. just waiting. Shavat mesos libenu nepach le'evel micholenu. The joy of our hearts is gone. It's Shavat. It's finished. It's closed. Our dancing has turned into mourning. So many verses in the Tilim and other places that talk about the hope of going from Yagon va'anacha, from anxiety, from horror to simcha, to joy. And here it is the opposite. There was joy, there was a temple, there was a beautiful Jewish people in the city of Jerusalem, and now it is all destroyed. Nafla teret roshenu, oina lanu, ki chatanu. The crown has fallen from our head. Woe to us that we have sinned. We have a little bit of a movement. We said, right? We are punished because of the sins of our fathers. They are gone and we are suffering, but it's not just they who sinned. We have sinned also. Our crown has fallen over our head because we have sinned, an admission of our own guilt as well. Al zehayadav elibenu, al ele chashchu einenu. Because of this, our hearts are sick. Because of these, our eyes are dimmed. It's like we've gone back to choshech, pre um, pre-creation period, kind of like in the book of Eov when he wants to go back to a time of darkness. All there is darkness. There is no hope. Har Tzion sheshamem shualim hilchuvo. Because of Mount Zion, look at Har Tzion. Jackals, wolves, foxes are running all over. This was the place of the Beit HaMikdash, and now it is a place of destruction. Gemara, the end of Masechet Makot, tells a story about Rabbi Akiva and his friends where they went up to the Beit HaMikdash and they saw the foxes, the jackals, whatever it is, running around the Beit HaMikdash, and all the rabbis cried. And Rabbi Akiva, of course, in the story, he laughs. The rabbis look at him stunned. How could you do that? And he says, now that I see the prophecy of the complete destruction, the place of the Holy of Holies where nobody could go but the Kohen Gadol once a year, and jackals and foxes and animals are running all over it. Now that I see that prophecy has taken place, I know that the prophecy of redemption will take place as well. Ata Adonai L'olam Teshev Kisacha Ledor Vador. But you, God, are enthroned forever. Your throne endures through the ages. Lama lenetzach tishkachenu ta'azvenu la'orech yamim. Why have you forgotten us completely, forsaken us for all time, right? And this is part of the worry at this point. We don't know that things are going to get better for all time. La'orech yamim. It's not just the destruction of Jerusalem and now everything is going to be fine. Understanding here is we don't know that things are going to get better. And this may be part of the reason, according to certain segments, certain parts of the Orthodox population, all of the horrors of Jewish life are remembered on Tisha B'Av, the day of the destruction of the first and the second temple, the day of lamentations. But there's still hope. Pasuk Chaf Aleph, Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva chadesh yameinu kekedem. Take us back, God. Let us come back, renew our days as of old, when we had a city, when we had autonomy, when we were not the slaves and not the beggars, but we were proud individuals and people. Oftentimes we say in life that "Abalitaher matarinoto." We have to take that first step. Moshe goes up towards the mountain and God comes down to greet him. I have to go litaher. God will help me. But here, what do we say? Hashivenu Hashem Elecha. We've been pushed so far. We're asking God, right? It's almost, God, you have to take that first step. You make us want to go back to you. It's a little bit different because of the horrors. And however, this book doesn't end. When we think of books in Jewish life, we try to end in a good note with a hope. But here, Ki ma'os ma'astanu, katsafta aleinu ad ma'od. Because if you've truly rejected us, if and bitterly raged against us, it's enough. Right? You rejected us, you raged against us. And that's one of the questions in this book. We talked about the different chapters. Certain chapters say, we have sinned, we deserved it. And other parts of the book say, this has been too much. You have gone too far, God, in your destruction, in your rage, in your horrors. And this book ends in sort of this ambiguous fashion. We try as a people to not end with this ambiguous fashion because, of course, after verse 22, when we read Eichah publicly on the night of Tisha B'Av, everybody says, goes back to verse 21, to the previous chapter, Hashivenu Hashem Elech v'nashuva chadesh yameinu kekedem. We want to see it as this was a time of horror, but we want to move past that horror. We want to go back and be together with God. But when this book was written, it was not clear. Is it katsafta aleinu ad ma'od? You've raged against us too much. Is it lama lenetzach tishkachenu? Is it going to be something that is forever? And so we stand here, we sit here. I'm sitting all these generations later, all this time later, and we think about the horrors of this book, the horrors of that time, and we continue to ask the question, God, why can you allow this to happen? We can take some guilt. We can understand that we have chatanu, that we at times have sinned, that we at times have suffered, but the hope is in the way that we liturgically read the book is Hashivenu Hashem Elecha v'nashuva. Let these horrors be in the past. Let them not be continual. Let our people return, and let it be speedily in our days that we have great return and great joy, that not like it says in this book, that the joy and the happiness, the dancing have turned to horror, but rather that the mourning and the horror should turn to joy and dancing.